Hi guys, welcome. I'm Robin.
I'm Gabby.
And today we're going to teach you how to script out your ideal future. Now, hopefully you're going to be joining us in our best life blueprint, where we're going to go really deep in this, because one thing I notice is, like, if people aren't held accountable to paper and pencil in hand and actually doing the work, a lot of times we move through our life and we're like, yeah. So today we're going to plant the seeds and talk about it so that you can kind of like ruminate and think about, like, what is my best life going to be? But we're going to go over a little bit of how we approach living our own best life, because you know, it's not enough to just say we want to travel. We need to know where we're traveling to. It's not enough to say we just want connections. We need to know what our interactions look like. It's not enough to say we just want to be healthy. We need to know what we're buying, what we're cooking for dinner, what we're exercising. These things we talk about in theory when we're saying, hey, I want to live my best life ever. A lot of times they're so vague and we're so busy, right? Like the button, if you're like, yeah, I'm so busy. Because we all get caught in these traps and we don't have enough space in our life to just stop and just think about, what exactly would health look like? What does a healthy person eat? What does a healthy person think? What does a healthy person feel? What does adventure and travel and freedom mean to me? Where do I go? Do I get an RV and like go sit in the middle of the forest like we're doing right now? Or do I go on a road trip? Do I fly somewhere? All these little things. Oh, relationships are a big one. Relationships come down to communication. So what am I saying to my daughter to build a connection? What am I saying to my husband to build a connection?
Yeah, I think one of the other roadblocks that comes up for people when they're trying to get clear on what they want is that there's so much overwhelm happening inside your brain. Maybe not like on a visible level. Other people think you're very calm and composed and you got everything handled. But internally, there's a lot going on. And a lot of people, I think, for myself, when I was trying to think through scripting, is you have to know that there's more than just two elements to a good life.
Yeah.
There's actually, we use like about 9 different elements in the core areas, that all those 9 boxes are what we're trying to work towards to reach our ultimate life. Now, granted, we might hit like 6 on the process of getting to the full 9, but really there's more than 2. There's more than 3. It's really at least 5 different areas of your life that you have to be working towards and recognizing where you're at in those areas. So like my mom just said, you've got health. You've got relationships. Well, relationships, we can kind of subcategorize that too, because it's relationships with your significant other, relationships with your immediate family. So either you have kids or you have parents as your immediate family at the moment. Then you have extended family. We don't worry about that too much, but it definitely plays a role also. But then you have your career. You also have wealth, somewhat separate from your career, because it's like, what do you want to be spending your money on, which leads into your lifestyle. And in the Best Life Blueprint, we're going to help you guys actually be able to assess where you're at in the areas of your life. But it does start with that. You have to be able to assess and go, oh wait, there's all these aspects to me. I'm not just like this person, because I think a lot of us are so reactive, living in our addiction to beta brainwaves, living in addiction to stress, and we wake up and the first thing we have to do is be there for everyone else, that we don't actually tune into ourselves and go, wait, I'm a person with different needs and different things that are required for me to be happy and healthy and motivated towards something else.
And one thing Gabby didn't talk about right now was the number one relationship is your relationship with yourself. Because what your relationship is with yourself is, first of all, it's the only thing you can control. And second, it impacts all the other things. Your relationship with yourself is going to not only impact your relationship with your immediate family, with your significant other, in your career. It's going to affect your ability to lead a lifestyle that feels fulfilling. It's so important to start there and be like, am I happy with my self-talk? Am I showing up to nurture my body in a way that tells my body, I care about you, I appreciate you, I love you? Are we even recognizing our emotions? We use the stick analogy a lot of times, where we like, these are our emotions, and it's like we hold them so tight and we grip and we think this is anger is me, instead of like, or we're completely oblivious. This stick is like hitting us in the head all the time. We're like, nope, there's no anger there. Nope, I'm just swallowing it down, and then it manifests in other ailments later. Instead, a lot of your relationship with yourself is like, oh, anger, interesting. It's kind of curved today. It's got a little moss hanging on it. Anger, interesting. Well, I recognize you're here, anger, but you're not really serving me. So I'm going to set you down, and I'm going to go on with my day and go to my goals. But I'm going to notice that you're showing up a little bit less and less frequently. So I must be doing something right.
Yeah, I once heard someone describe self-confidence from the root of, if you look in the mirror, how do you react when you look in the mirror and say, I love myself? Think of it now. Actually go and do that and see what happens, because there's a good chance one or two things is going to happen. Maybe somewhere in the gray space in the middle. But someone who truly, truly loves themselves, has a good relationship with themselves, will look in the mirror and say with conviction, I love myself. And it doesn't feel fake or phony or cheesy, because maybe it feels cheesy, but it doesn't feel fake or phony. You're not having this imposter syndrome happening.
Should call Dry over. Her brother is really good at this.
Of course, we have the line where we can cross over into arrogance, but really arrogance is rooted in some level of insecurity of not actually fully loving yourself. But most of us, at some point in our lives, I know for myself, there's a long time I would look in the mirror, and if I said I love myself, I would be like, ugh. I don't know. I mean, I would say it if you said, okay, say it with conviction. I love myself. There would be a feeling, sensation in the body, which requires you to tune into yourself, that is either tight or tense. That also gives you an indicator into what self-limiting belief is holding you back from loving yourself. We'll dive into that more inside your Best Life Blueprint, our upcoming free training.
I'll give you an easier one to start with. I always have my clients do this when we do guided meditations. I am amazing. I'm amazing. It is so easy for me to say, I'm amazing. It's a little harder when I say, I just love myself, because my brain can go to like, oh, well, you're getting older and like the wrinkles and that, like the stupid self-talk about that. But I can go, I am amazing. And I have them always say it. At the end, I am amazing. Say it louder. I am amazing. And what I think that does is it's one step closer to that. I love myself, because we think like, oh yeah, I do. Like, I think we all feel like we do a lot, and what we do is hard, and we do it. And so we are amazing. And so if you have trouble looking in the mirror, saying, I love myself, start with, I am amazing.
Yes. And the funny thing too is that it's also literally repeating this mantra and embodying it at the same time. It's not to say, I'm amazing. If you look in the mirror and you're not changing your being, you're not changing your energetic state, it's going to do nothing. But if you do it with conviction, you're actually altering the neuropathway, the dominant neuropathways in your brain. You're actually changing the story of who you are by changing the most dominant dialogue that you say about yourself. If you look in the mirror, you're probably on a subconscious level saying like, oh, whatever, like complaining that, oh, my hair is broken, or like my eyes are like this, or my nose looks like this, or like, gosh, I'm overweight, or gosh, I'm too skinny. Whatever these things are, that's your subconscious dialogue. And that's the neuropathway that now is going to become more likely to run, because that's what you've always said to yourself for the last decade, if not multiple decades of your life. But if you start saying the new thing, that's how you literally change the story of who you are. That's how you change your state of being.
To change your story, you literally have to change how the neurons are firing. The communication from your brain to all the cells in your body, it has to go through a different path. It has to go on a different highway. So it's really important. And I'm going to add one last thing for this, is when you say, I'm amazing, open your arms and stick your chest out, because that's your heart chakra. And everything magical happens as soon as you start opening your heart chakra, because this is where we connect all of this thinking brain, that really is where all of our intuition is, with all of our body chakras, all of our safety and security and fears and vulnerability and misaligned to-do lists. And we start to open the heart chakra, and then we can move from this overthinking, over-judging, to intuitive, over-expressing, feeling, bold, confident.
Maybe not over-expressing.
Over-expressing in the like positive way.
So this comes back into what we started this with, like, how do you get clear on what you really want? You have to start with yourself, because if you are not empowered, you're not going to be empowered to take action to start changing the other aspects of your life. You have to love yourself to be able to, especially when it comes to, let's say self comes first, relationships often come second in the level of scripting out your best life for a lot of people. And you're not going to be able to shift into positive, healthy relationships or just resolve some of the current struggles that you have with your current relationships if you don't have a deep sense of self-love. Self-love also has to do with self-worth, has to do with your mani pura, your feelings that you're capable and you're worthy and you're amazing. And from that place of having that sense of capability and deservingness, now you can start to believe that possibilities can happen. Until we have self-love, we say, well, nothing amazing is going to happen to me. How could I script out my most amazing life? Or how could I believe anything like crazy cool could happen in my life in the future? If you don't love yourself, there's going to be a direct correlation between what you think of yourself and what you think you could have when you're scripting in the future.
Awesome. We can't wait to see you inside Best Life Blueprint. It's going to be an amazing 5 days. We're really excited to share all of our wisdom and life experience and literally the tactics and strategies that we use to be living our best life ever. We want you to be a part of the Best Life Club, where we get to just be, like, we need happier people around. And so we're really excited to know that our gifts and talents are going to make your life better. And then you're going to make your life better. It's going to make people around you's life better. And all of a sudden, we're going to be able to shift the trajectory of the world into this loving, happy, kind place that we all in our hearts want it to be.
Yeah, so if you want to find out how to sign up, just check out the link down below or the description down below or the caption down below. You can find out information about how to sign up totally free. Thank you guys for joining us in this video.
Namaste.